It is a good time to be a Marvel fan. What with all the films, crossovers, and TV shows, there are many ways to love the franchise. And there seems to be no end to which other capes will be called up to the media mainstream, which must be making the suits and wallets of Marvel very happy indeed. The Netflix TV shows in particular seem to be doing very well, no, not you, Iron Fist, and are in many ways showing us better versions of heroes who've already had cinema outings. Yes, I do mean you, Daredevil. But you know what? You can always do more. And there are many other worthy superheroes that just need some limelight love. With this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 Marvel superheroes who desperately deserve their own Netflix series. Number 8. Moon Knight. Back in the day, Moon Knight was seen as just Marvel's attempt to rip off Batman. However, nowadays he's made his presence firmly known and is one of the gang. This is mainly down to the way his comics are told and presented, taking a pulpy vibe in recent times and adding in a lot of psychological issues for the lead Mark Spector to overcome. It's these vibes that would make Moon Knight a great TV show, as it would provide a darker tone in its instances of a mercenary turned millionaire fighting crime and also his own fractured psyche. It would also allow for Marvel to embrace the surreal, with its multiple personalities and omnipresent Egyptian moon god. Granted, it would be a lot for some audience members to take in, but hey, you've got to shoot for the moon sometimes. Puns, I've got them. Number 7. Hawkeye. Wait, before you lambast me, I'm not talking about Barton. He definitely exists and is still very much the most boring member of the Avengers, but I'm talking about Kate Bishop, the second person to take up the mantle. The reason for this is not only would you get a more relaxed female lead than the Arrow and the Ass Barton, but you'd also be able to have them team up and reenact the joy that was the Matt Fractions arc. In this, both Hawkeyes team up to take on a Russian mobster in a story which is at once action-packed and cleverly comedic. It could carry an episodic feel, add some character to Barton, and give Kate a chance to stand alongside the new wave of female-fronted shows. Number 6. She-Hulk. It's actually pretty shocking that this hasn't already made the jump to TV. She-Hulk is a lawyer and a superhero, and the character of Jennifer Walters is one of the best Marvel's got. She's nuanced, comedic, and when it counts, hard as absolute nails. Now, it's true that Marvel already has their lawyer present in the form of Daredevil, but why not add another to the mix? Hell, it'd make for a decent crossover at the very least. The show could work in much the same way as a regular detective piece, but with the added bonus of utter carnage should anyone be foolish enough to cross the She-Hulk. Number 5. Daughters of the Dragon. Now, while all the entries so far have been about Marvel introducing new heroes via shows, what if there's already those who deserve their own airtime who've already appeared in existing programs? By this, I'm talking about Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, the Daughters of the Dragon, who've already featured in Iron Fist and Luke Cage and, for lack of better words, made quite the f***ing impact. Now, we know that the other Defenders are all going to get another season of their shows, and Punisher is going to get his own spin-off, so now is the perfect time to give the Daughters a run of their own. It would even be possible to show their business Nightwing Restorations Limited sitting alongside Cage and Fist's own crime-fighting for hire business. Number 4. Ghost Rider. Whatever you thought about the Ghost Rider films, you can't deny that the story of the Rider isn't interesting. It's officially been long enough for there not only to be a reboot of the franchise for TV, but maybe also introduce a new idea. What if for each season, assuming this was successful, we see a new Rider take up the role? After all, we've seen the move from Johnny Blaze to Danny Ketch and to Rob Keyes in the comics, so why not have a show which follows suit? Not only would that keep up the destructive nature of the Rider persona, but also allow for narrative arcs to be kept contained. Either way, it would be a shame for Ghost Rider to be left confined to movies when there's so much more potential for the character. Number 3. Trish Walker, aka Hellcat. Before I start, for all of you comic book purists out there, yes, I do mean Patsy Walker. The character was, however, introduced in Jessica Jones as Trish, so for the purposes of envisaging a Hellcat series as one being part of this MCU, this one inconsequential change shall remain. During the 1970s Avengers, Patsy became a key member of the Defenders, so why not roll them bones once more and give the audience a new chance to see her close combat skills and nifty set of mystic powers? Now, there is a good chance that she might get to show off these moves in the next Jessica Jones series and don the Hellcat ident at some point, but as a spin-off solo outing, there's a good chance that she'd showcase a great talent worthy of being added to the Defenders at a later date. Number 2. Blade. It's officially been long enough since the veritable slice of piss pie that was Blade Trinity to start talking about the prospect of a Blade TV series. The premise is beautifully simple, an absolute badass killing vampires, kind of like Buffy, but much, much darker in tone. Now, Blade's movies kind of kickstarted the whole superhero box office dominance thing, so there's a fair few punters out there who'd know and remember the character. It's not like Marvel isn't aware of how popular the character could be, seeing as they've held onto the rights since 2011, and Netflix could serve as the best platform form to get a harder, more intense blade that was shown in the comics. Out of the entries on this list, it's probably the most likely to be a financial success if it were to make the jump. And number 1, Agent 13/Sharon Carter. So if you're not aware of who Agent 13 is, she's the relative of Captain America's wartime love Peggy Carter, and she even appears briefly in The Winter Soldier. The ties with Cap and the fact that she's already having FaceTime means that a show detailing her covert operations on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s behalf are an almost ready-made show. She's not a superhero in the most direct sense, and it's more along the lines of Black Widow with a range of martial arts and guile at her disposal. Still, this would make for a brilliant and altogether more grounded show. There's even the possibility for her events to take place during the time of the Registration Act, with her either hunting down or convincing other superheroes to fall in line. But regardless of the content, her down-to-earth attitude and immense potential would make for one heck of a show. And that's our list. Got any more supers deserving of stardom? Well, let me know about them in the comments section below. And why not swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.